a burning bush, a moving cloud, a gentle whisper. God goes to extraordinary measures and uses unusual things to speak to us. Even a donkey? Let's take a few minutes this beautiful Monday morning and talk about that. Hello, friends, and welcome back to Coffee, Conversations of Friends of Faith to encourage and equip. I'm Kim Crabill, so delighted to be joining you this beautiful Monday morning as we take this Monday to start stepping into our more this week. So are you ready? Are you ready for what God has for us this week? I think it's going to be an incredible week. I'm expecting God to move in great and mighty ways, and I'm expecting him to speak to us in ways that we don't even consider or we don't even think about, because he is bringing us to this subject of how he will use anything to speak to us, to get to us. And wow, what an incredible God that is, don't you think? That he doesn't just give up, he will use anything. So how has God been trying to talk to you? And what does this message, how is this message this morning out of Numbers 22, because we're going to back up until yesterday's reading. How is that going to help us open our minds to receive what God has for us so that we can actually be engaged more today in our more. So welcome. I'm so excited. This is I don't know if you all had ever read this before. This is a fun, it's a fun thing to do with kids, but the reality of it is not fun at all. The fun part to do with kids is to help them understand the length and the depth, the height of God's love and the great measures that he will take to speak to us. But as adults, we must go on a deeper level and see what was going on here, and to see that while the Israelites were in the wilderness defying God, God was still fighting for them on their behalf. So yes, God goes to extraordinary measures and unusual lengths to speak to us. And so today, I think the challenge is going to be, I'm going to leave you with three of what I consider my major thoughts from this text as I've read it over and over and over again, because you just can't read it one time, can you? You have to just keep reading. The more you read it and the more you meditate upon it, and the more you ask God to speak to you through it, the deeper it will go. And so this morning, just wanted to take a few minutes to go back into Numbers 22. Can you believe, what is this? Did someone say day 60 or 65, 64, 65? Gosh, we're that far into this year already, you all. So hopefully we've already gotten our toes into the more a little bit. I know I have. I'm ankle high, I think. I think we should be on 64, but I don't know. Let's just go ahead and go through it. 63 was definitely, you're right. That's December 22nd. You're absolutely right. So we're going back a day because I want to capture the meaning of this. So what's going on here? So during Israel's wandering in the wilderness, we see where Balak, the local king, became a little weary, and he grew afraid of the Israelites. So he saw the large groups. He didn't know what was coming on, so he was afraid of the Israelites. So what did he do? He started taking matters in his own hands. Anybody ever guilty of that? Me. Don't raise your hands. I will for me. He grew afraid of this large group of Israelites coming through. So he hired a famous prophet, Balaam. He hired Balaam to curse. He wanted him to curse the Israelites so that he could secure a victory. He wanted it was power. He wanted power. But as Balaam, remember, this is such an incredible story. As Balaam rides his donkey to meet Balak, the donkey, what does he do? He keeps veering off the road. And for 3 times, he veers off the road. He will not stay on the road. And so what happens? Balaam mistreats him, beats the donkey, and but what we see later, and Balaam will see, is that Balaam was blind to the angel of the Lord with a sword that the donkey could see. Now that says something about Balaam's discernment right there, doesn't it? Just saying. But anyway, so Balaam brutally beats the donkey and forces the animal back on the road. And so eventually it gets to the point to where what happens? I don't know if the donkey speaks, or is it just he opens his mouth and God speaks through him, but the donkey is talking, and he asks him, why are you doing this? And then after that, God reveals himself to the angel to Balaam, warning him to only prophesy what he told. Oh my gosh. I mean, am I back? Can you see me now? Something happened for just a minute. So I will continue on. Am I back? Great. Then I'll carry on. I'm back. Okay. Yeah, I saw it. My whole screen just went black. So, okay. So let's carry on. Evidently, there's a little something here that doesn't want us to get through here, but we're going to carry on because this is too important. So what happens then? The two finally meet. This is so incredible. Finally, they meet on the top of the mountain, and Balak demands Balaam to curse Israel, right? He just is like, but see, Balak doesn't understand who he's dealing with here. And see, this is what happens when you come against God's people. He demands Balaam to curse Israel, but Balaam's mouth, what? It's, the Bible says, is filled as if by force, God's blessings of Israel. Go to Judges 23:5, you see that. So blind to God's presence, Balak stubbornly tries